just put it on your head. Good morning, children and children young and old. All right. Today we're going to talk about something very important. We're going to talk about probably one of the most important things that we have here, and that would be, well, if you play sports, if you work construction, if you're these three guys up here, maybe you play baseball, you play football, maybe you skate, maybe you surf, maybe you ride a motorcycle, a bicycle, anything. What do you always try to protect? Your head. Very good. That is right. And why do you protect your head? It does have the family jewels in it. Thank you, Pastor. It has your brain, which is the whole mothership control board of the body, and it holds the most important thing of all, your mind. As children and as adults, we need to always be wary, and we need to really be conscious of protecting our heads, or, well, our minds, from negativity and sin. So, that being said, say, this is sin. Now, it comes at your mind, but if you have it protected with the helmet of God, nothing can harm you. You can't let that in. You can't let that hurt you. And sometimes sin is little, but sometimes the negativity, the bad thoughts, and the things that can invade your mind can be a lot bigger, especially as you get older. But these guys chose at a young age to put on something very important, the helmet of righteousness. Hallelujah. So in Ephesians, you guys are the best. I just like making that noise. Okay, so in Ephesians 6, the armor of God. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in all his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God, so that you may take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers and against the authorities and against the powers of his dark world, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when that day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand, stand firm. Then with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, the breastplate of righteousness in place, and your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all of this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all flaming arrows of the evil one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit. Helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the truth of God. Here's my sword. And the sword of truth here, it tastes pretty good. Here, you may each take one and pass it down and pass it around to the rest of the kids. So here in Ephesians, we have Paul, and he is talking about the helmet of salvation, and it's an important part of armor of God that Paul discusses. He says in the Roman army, the helmet, it served as protection for the head. It was the vital and most important piece of armor, as an attack to the head could result in death. And so to prevent spiritual death, we need to guard our thoughts, our minds. We need to be covered and protected from sin, negative thoughts, and the enemy by filling our minds with thoughts that are geared towards God, geared towards doing good, geared towards knowing we are saved, we have hope, we have faith, and the salvation of Jesus is what will protect you from anything in this world. God's goodness and Jesus' unconditional love in his sacrifice and shedding of his blood on the cross, from which he was resurrected and will return again. As a child of God, you know you are protected and loved. Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds. So I encourage you to put on the helmet of salvation daily and use it so that you are protected, confident in God and Jesus Christ, because with God, there is no battle we can't face, we can't handle. With God behind us, we can have that confidence. And also with the helmet on, It's just always a good idea. Definitely. All right, kids. So just remember to guard your minds with the Bible. Always be guarded in truth, knowledge, and good. Let's go to Sunday school.